Hi everyone, welcome to guitar lesson number 4. So you'll need to message me if you want the sheet to this one so you can practice at home. And the first thing we're going to do today is we need to learn about some note values, because in lesson number 5 we're going to be starting playing from notation. So in the last lesson we learned the FACE in the spaces, and every good boy does fine. So we need to put that together with how many beats notes are worth. So there's 2 names for these notes. If you see a circle, it's called a semibreve or a whole note. It's got 2 different names. One's a bit more traditional, one's a bit more new, but if you learn both, then you'll know what we're talking about. And then you also need to learn what the rests look like for each note. So a circle is worth 4, and it's got its equivalent rest. If you put a stem onto that circle, it's worth 2 beats. If you have a black note, so you're filling it in, that's worth 1 beat. And if you put a tail onto it, it's worth half a beat. Okay, so those are some note values you're going to have to know for the next one. So just take a look at them and see if you can try and memorize them, okay? So the first things we're going to start playing today, we're going to use a bit more tab, which we were using last time when we were doing our 1 open, 3 open. So what I've done is I've just put together a little song doing that 1 open, 3 open, to see if we can get your hand moving up the string of the guitar. So with our right hand we're going to be doing walking fingers, and with our left hand we're going to be putting some of those together. So if we try the first one, it goes 1 open, 3 open, then we're going to do that again, and then we're going to jump all the way up to fret 5 and 7, then we're going to go 7 and 9, and that's it. And then you're going to see if you can loop that round with repeat bars. So I'll do that again a bit more slowly. So it's going to go 1 open, 3 open, then again 1 open, 3 open, then we're going to go 5 open, 7 open, then 7 open, 9 open. Back to the beginning. 1 open, 3 open, 1 open, 3 open, then 5 open, 7 open, 7 open, 9 open. So you can do that one at your own speed. If you need to go a little bit slower, no problem. You might have a little pause in between moving around, but you want to try and get that pause to a minimum. You want to try and stay with a good rhythm. So I'd rather you go slower than put pauses in. Okay, so that's a bit of a recap one. And we're going to do 2 new ones now as well. I'm going to see if you recognise this tune. So I'm hoping you recognise that as the Jaws theme tune. So it just uses 2 notes. So I've written it out in 4 different stages, each one having a repeat bar around them. So the first one is fret 2 on string 6, moving to fret number 3. So ideally we want to use a different finger, not sliding. Right? And then we're going to play fret 2 with a rest thumb. So if you look at this hand here, my thumb is playing the string and then resting on the next string, which is exactly the same concept as our walking fingers, but we're just doing it with our thumb. So we're playing string 6 and it's resting on string 5. So the first bit goes fret 2 and then on to fret 3, and then I'm stopping it to make it nice and short. So that's the first bar, and you can repeat that bar however many times you want to repeat it. And then the next bar is putting on another fret 2. So it goes like that. Bum, bum, bum. And then you can stop it. So again, you can repeat that as many times as you want. And then the next one, we're adding another 3. So we're going. We're trying to keep a good rhythm. And then the 4th bar, we we go 2, 3, open, 2, and then we repeat the one. So there's going to be 2 fret 2s in a row. 2, 3, open, 2, 2, 3, open, 2. So those are your 4 individual bars, and you can create your own song with it. You can do them however many times you want each. And if you want to have some tension in it, you can start really slow and then speed up a bit as you go through. So if I do them a couple of times each, so I'll do a, and then again. And then on the 3rd bar, I'm going to slightly speed up, and then I'll turn it into my 4th bar. I might go back to the 3rd bar for a bit, and then I'll go to my 4th bar. Okay, so you can make up your own little Jaws theme tune song by putting those 4 bars together. So what's really important is we're trying to use a rest thumb this time. It's a bit more tricky to use your fingers up here. We tend to use our thumbs on these strings. And see if you can coordinate 2 different fingers. So I'm using fingers 1 and 2. You could use 2 and 3, but try not to slide. We don't really want the sliding sound. And the last song we're going to try today, you might recognise it as well. So it is the James Bond theme tune. It's actually sort of the bass part, and then on top you get this bit. I'm not going to show you that bit, it's way more tricky. So we're just going to stick with this bottom bit. And I am going to let you slide your finger on this one. So what we've got to practice first is with our thumb in our right hand, we're going to go string 6, and then 5, 6, 5. So a rest thumb on each of those strings. And you can just keep on playing that. Then what your other finger does here is we're going to use our first finger, and we're going to slide on this one because it's easier. We're going to put it on fret 2, string number 5, and we're going to play the string 6, which is always going to be an open string. You're not going to put your finger, on string number 6. It's always going to be a string number 5. So we're going to play string number 6 first, and then we play string 5, and then we play string 6 again. And just before we play string 5 again, we can slide it up to number 3, back to string 6, slide it up to number 4, and then back to number 3. 2, open, 3. So I'm changing my finger at the last possible time rather than going like this, 2, and then moving it up because it cuts the note short. This doesn't sound so good. So you want to move your finger just before we want to play the note to get a nice smooth sound. So if you've got that, what you could try is adding different fingers for each fret. That would be the ideal, but it is more tricky. So if you want to move one finger about, that's fine. And then the other important thing, which is always important in my lessons all the time, is trying to keep a steady rhythm. So we don't want open, 2, and then like a huge gap, open, 3. It's got to keep a nice steady rhythm in your right hand, okay? So those 3 songs are all tricky enough. They've all got slightly different techniques and timings, but they're all quite fun songs, which you'll hopefully know, and you can kind of make your own versions of those, okay? So good luck with practicing that this week, and then our next lesson, we're going to start learning some of the notes on the guitar and learning where they are on the musical notation, so learning to read proper notated music. Okay, so good luck with those, and I'll see you in the next lesson.